My good friend Alvin asked me if I would be so kind to keep him company during one very unpleasant procedure that he was supposed to witness. Execution of his client and longtime friend, Reverend McDonald. As one can imagine, I was quite taken aback by this. Execution? I thought that there was not such a thing as a capital punishment in a place as evolved as a republic of kakotrebabitija. Kakotrebabitija was a place that I never thought existed. As close to perfection as possible. Great cities, excellent schools, standard of living beyond my imagination. Hospitals were unbelievable once you visited, which was very seldom since the medical care was so diffused that most, if not all, of medical issues were fixed through house visits or directly at school or place of work. Work was a pleasant endeavor where one did basically what one felt like doing. All heavy lifting was fully automatized. Even money. Money was never discussed since it was more of a way to keep tabs than to really pay for things. My plain, free market capitalism conditioned mind had more than little difficulty in comprehending their strange ways. Not at all, said Alvin. As a matter of fact, we prefer the death sentence to many alternatives. It is quite practical. Wow, said I. What a surprise. Your reverend must have done something terrible then. He was working on Sunday, chopping wood for barbecue. What? How is that deserving of death? You see, my foreign friend, we kakotrebabitijans are, before all things, pragmatic. As you have probably observed, we have automation doing whatever is possible to be automated. This fixes a lot of law issues that were previously burdening our tribunals. No more traffic offenses, since you are not doing the driving. No more financial offenses, since money is irrelevant. No more labor laws, since the labor is optional and so forth. Of course, we still must legislate on usual crimes, obvious situations, victim and perpetrator kind of deals. You mean violence, theft, rape and such? Exactly. Even the theft is very rare. You get the gist of the thing. So, what's with working on Sunday? Well, that is different. We used to waste a lot of discussing on victimless crime, or better, those actions that were discussed from ideological point. Endless public debates about abortion, sexuality, drug use or abuse, that kind of stuff. I see. Yes, that always was the problem. We did the same thing but never arrived at the core of the issue. Alvin laughed. Exactly. That is because there is no core to arrive to. You are always left to your own devices, your upbringing, personal beliefs, books you read, and other silly stuff like that. The problem is that the people are holding these issues very strongly, and we felt the need to address this in a serious way. So, what you did? We needed the way to leave this within the sphere of personal belief, but nevertheless legislate on it. The only way around it was to legislate personally. Please elaborate. Arrived at legal age, every kakotrebabitijan produces a list of crimes and appropriate punishments. This list is then published and becomes a public matter. He is then expected to live by his code. If he is caught in crime, he gets punished. Easy as that. Wait a minute. How is this enforced? Surely one would not denounce oneself out of principle. Obviously, somebody who was aware of Reverend's list saw him chopping the wood and called the police. There was a proper trial then to establish whether chopping the wood for barbecue is to be considered work or not. Unfortunately for old MacDonald, the jury of his peers decided that yes, cutting the wood is work. Therefore, he was given the sentence he declared fitting the crime. I finished the sentence. Yes, you got it. And mind you, old fool added those articles to his list recently. He became more of a fundamentalist in his old age and got all Old Testament and stuff. I told him so myself when he came to me for amendments to the list. So it is possible to amend the list? Of course it is. It would be too cruel not to allow it. Opinions change, don't you think? And in final analysis, those are only opinions, nothing more. However, you are not allowed to amend the list more than once a year. You need some time to fully comprehend the consequences of your opinions. We kept walking for some time in silence. I was processing the full implications of what just heard. My mind was bringing up questions and answering them simultaneously. This really is something. Live by the dictate for which, through your efforts, you want to become universal law. Okay, Alvin, I will gladly accompany you to witness the old fool die by his own rule. Alvin smiled.